over the important topic of Orchestrator. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It is
Yes,
visible.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So in yesterday's session, we have gone through how to run process in Orchestrator. Then already we have seen what is write line and log message in previous session. So yesterday we have not gone through that, but as already you are aware, that is very important topic. That is write line and log message. Then how to schedule job. Yesterday we saw different types of triggers like time-based trigger, queue-based trigger. Then a difference between stop and queue that we will see today. Or I wanted just to tell you what is difference between that and cron expression. That is if you want to run bot in a very as per custom time. In that case, you can use cron expression to run your bot. So all these topics we have saw yesterday session. So difference between stop and kill that I wanted to tell you in UiPath orchestrator. If you see orchestrator structure, in that case you might observe there are two different options available to stop your job or kill your job. So that I would like to tell you what is difference between that stop and kill. I hope it is taking time. I'm just checking out with my same account. I don't I don't want to enter user ID and password. I'm tired. That's why I'm just searching where my already username and passwords are stored. Yes, got it. Finally. So guys, whenever you are going into the orchestrator, you have to click on orchestrator, and in orchestrator there are lots of options available for you. So in orchestrator we have important options like home, automations, monitoring, queues, assets, store bucket, testing, setting, etc. So whenever you are starting like first time, you have to just go into the tenant, then you have to go into the folders. First stuff you have to do is you have to create your folder, custom folder you have to create, and in that folder you have to create some credentials, some assets, something, or whatever you want to do, you can just do in that specific folder. You can create process, and how you can create that already we have covered in yesterday's session. Now when you want to run, when you wanted to run any of the bot, in that case what you have to do, you have to go into your specific folder, then you have to go into the process, and after going into the process you have options like jobs. So if you have already triggered job, then you can see the available options here. If you haven't created any job, then you can't see here. So let me see where my in which folders I have triggered a job, because there are lots of folders I have created. And gee, let's see. I don't know whether it will trigger. Let me check my assistant. Yeah, my bot is started. You can see. Okay. There are lots of bots. I feel there. Yeah, I have already triggered 2 or 3 bots, so it might be come into the queue. No problem. So you could see the status is successful. Do you want to run? There are two options like restart, or you can directly run the bot. You can just click on start. As you are clicking on start, your bot will start running. And here we have, just a second, I would like to tell you there are different options, stop and kill. These two options are very important. Whenever you are thinking about stopping the bot means you are you are first closing all the applications, all the dependencies will be closed, and then your bot will be stopped. That is the meaning of stop. But when you are using this kill, that means if any current application is running, then it may close as it is. So in that case, there might be data loss, there might be different effects that impacts your automation that may happen. So if you are in a hurry, then you can kill, but generally you should use stop method to stop your running bot. So if I am just using stop, your bot will be directly stopped. So it may take time if you are using stop, but if I'm using kill, it immediately kills your job. Did you see what is the difference between kill and stop? अरे कोई है क्या नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. So that is the important thing that I wanted to tell you. Now in Orchestrator, we have other options and other activities that we should understand. First one is the asset and second one is the queue. These two topics are very important. Asset, what is asset? So asset means it is a variable which can be stored in Orchestrator. So previously we have seen two different types of variables. One is variable and another one was which stores the information. What was that? To store the information, we have two different terminologies we have seen previously. First one was variable. I told you. What is second one?
Arguments.
Perfect. Arguments. So variables are used to store the information or data which is limited to specific workflow. Okay. You can use variable. Where is my studio? So these variables are limited to specific workflow. But if you want to move data from one workflow to another workflow, what term we are using or what is the variable type or variable name used, that is called as arguments. Got it?
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But in case, let's see, in case if I wanted to share my data or any information among different process, let us consider this is one process, this is second, this is third. So by using argument, we can't share information among or across different process. So in that case, we have to use asset. So in that case, we have to use asset. Okay.
So
So asset.
one question, Sunil sir.
Yes.
You said
Yes.
the in Orchestrator the value will be stored in assets like variable in Studio. So let's say, for instance, if there is any update or anything is changed in future, so can we update directly in Orchestrator while through changing the asset instead of going to Studio and making all changes in variable?
Yes. 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 Perfect. Perfect question. And it was like really nice questions. I like it. Actually, whenever we have a situation to change the variable data, in that case only we are using asset. Asset means we are storing the data in orchestrator, and whenever we are thinking there is some change in the data, we can immediately go into the orchestrator asset and we can change the data or change the value. That is the purpose of asset actually.
Okay, okay.
Great. So now when you have a number of process and you want some data to be used commonly, or you want to store the data which can be used uniquely for all the processes, in that case you can use asset. And in certain cases, most of times you are just thinking my value might be changed. Let's consider about credentials. So credentials are the things which can be changed once in a 3 months or once in a month. These types of things happens. So if you are putting in config file, or if you are putting in a variable or argument, so in that case, if you want to change, then in that case you need to change the variable in change your process, or you have to change in the code that you need. But if you are storing the data in an asset, what you have to change, you have to change only the value, no need to change the code. We'll see how that will work. So when you are talking about asset is a global variable which is stored in a orchestrator. So where you could find that, just click on tenant and just click on your folders. And in your folders, when whatever folders you have created, you can just click that. So here we have, let me tell you, I'm using this folder, August batch. I'm not creating one more folder because it is like it's crowded area. I don't want it to do that. So let's consider I have created August batch folder. Here you can see assets, queues, triggers, users, and processes. So whatever folders you are creating, you have to just click on that folders and you can see all the options here. So here one options you can see assets. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So
Yes.
this asset you have to create, and as you are clicking on asset, you can see there are plus add asset option. By using that add asset options, you can create new asset. So how you can create a asset? Any name you can put depending on your process, but this name should be like unique. You should immediately understand, easily understandable name. For example, my process name is, let us consider web automation in Gmail, or web Gmail automation. So these types of name you can put, and underscore name of the process or whatever. So if you want to store name of that process in asset, you can use a type as a, which type we can use if that is a name. The-
Text.
yes, there are
Text.
basically four types of assets we can use, or we can store information into orchestrator. First one is text, second one is a bool, third one is an integer, and fourth one is the credentials. By name you can understand what it means. So text means you can store textual data or string data in an orchestrator, and by using bool you can store boolean data, either true or false data you can store. By using integer you can store number data or integer data, and by using credential you can store the credentials. So by using these three methods, you can use like same approach for these first three, text, bool, and integer. But for using credentials, one different approach is there. Means only we have to add two things, username and password. I'll show you how we can do that. So if you want to store textual data, for example, web Gmail automations name we have to store in asset. Then this is the asset name which will be referred everywhere. So let us consider I have to use welcome. Welcome is the text I wanted to store, or welcome to Gmail automation. This is the word you wanted to store in this asset name. Then you can store that value in text. Description, if you want to write, then you can write. Otherwise, it's not mandatory. Label also, it's not mandatory. And you can directly create asset. Okay. Is it simple?
Yes.
You can directly create your asset name and you can put type of that asset and you can put value. So after creation of asset, I can use the same asset value in my process. So let me take one simple process to get my asset. So there is one activity, get asset activity. So by using this get asset activity, we can retrieve the value for our asset. So here in properties, you have to put all these value related to your process. Right now, since there is some modification in Orchestrator, you will automatically get the folder name. So what is our folder name?
August batch.
August batch.
Where it is?
First.
First one, yeah.
First one.
Again, what is asset name?
Welcome.
Already here we are getting most of times what was initially what was happening, guys. Since your path was not that much mature, you have to manually check what is asset name and what is folder name. Right now it is automatically coming. So that is, it is really nice change that your path is brought. It is really nice. I like it. So after getting folder name and the asset name, what we can do, where are my properties? Yeah, here you can put output for this asset name. You can put value of asset web. Okay, and we can use that value in our process. What is the value? If you want to check what is the value we are getting from asset, we can use one message box and we can see by using. Let me change the sequence scope, and now we could see what is value stored in our process. Let us run. So by using get asset activity, we can retrieve the values of asset. Welcome to Gmail automation. Okay, we got the value. Let us consider if I wanted to change that value. So in that case, what you can change? You have to change only in a orchestrator asset. You can just go into this edit and just change the content. No need to change in the code. If you want to change only welcome to Gmail, just update that asset and you can run the bar. You can see only updated value. So whenever you wanted to change any value of asset, no need to go into the code, only need to change the asset. Understood what is the importance and what is the need of asset?
Yes, sir. Sunil sir,
Yes.
just one question.
Yes.
What if the value is like dynamic in nature? I mean, if I want to, my value is like integer as well as the text. So do we need to concatenate, or can we use, how can we use that? Like instead the integer, it is like a combination of both.
Whenever you have these types of things, then you can put like you can merge or you can concat. But whatever
Concatenate.
value you are passing, that value will be retrieved in asset, get asset. That
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Any other question? I think somebody was asking something. Okay, so that is the case of text value. For integer you can use the same, only you have to change the variable type. So how you can change that variable type? You can just you have to just use what type of asset you wanted to use. For example, port number. Port number, that is the integer you will have to store. Then you can put 22. You can create and you can use the same asset name there. Asset name you can put whatever that you should remember, because that you have to refer. So for integer or for boolean, you don't need to change anything. You have to just change what is the asset name you are using and type. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir.
Only the thing is change, that is when you are creating asset type as a credential. Okay, how that is changed, let me tell you. So let us consider web Gmail credentials. Now I'll change, because the name of asset should be easily understandable. Web mail credentials type should be select as a credential. And you can here, whenever you are creating a set as a credentials, there are two things or input things you require. First one is the username, second one is the password. So username you can put, that should be like password. It automatically comes as like a encryption or encryptive password you will get, and you can just create. Okay, if you want to add some other password, let us consider if I want to create password for UI demo app. So UI demo cred you can use, but this name you have to copy, guys. Value is not important. What is username for UI demo? Admin is username and password is password, right? Have you seen that username and
Yes.
password? UI demo,
Yes,
I
sir.
think for desktop automation we have completed that. So you can create that. So how you can utilize? Do you want to see that? How we can use credentials type of asset? So for getting text, number, and boolean, you can use get asset. But if you want to get credential from orchestrator, then we have a get credential activity. So two activities related to asset you have to use. First one is a get asset, and second one is a which one?
Get credentials.
Get credential.
Yes, get credentials. So asset name we have to select as a UI demo credentials. Now here you have to create one variable for username and another variable for password. So you can use user UI demo and password. Okay, and if you want to see, I believe we have opened UI demo application. Not sure. Next UI demo. I think I have taken or Gajanan sir had taken. Desktop
So,
automation.
so desktop automation, what I feel it's not done.
Not done, sir. Not done, yeah.
Desktop is not done.
Not
Yes.
done.
UI demo application is covered or not?
No, no,
No,
it's not covered,
no,
sir.
No,
no,
it's
sir.
not.
Let me check. I feel I have taken maybe for last batch or this batch. Just give me some time.
I've seen that application, sir. I was just going through the one use case, like the cash in and the on check and
Yes,
not
yes,
on
yes.
check. So that part
Right.
I was seen, so I was not sure whether it's covered or not. But as far as I know, and the this UI demo in the batch is not covered, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Because UI demo, I think when we were taking desktop, we are covering that. Okay, no problem. So this is the application. There is no different thing that we are doing in UI demo, but yeah, let me cover in the orchestrator. That doesn't matter where it is covered. Let us start with what happens in UI demo. Let me tell you. In Arik framework, we are going to cover that again, but let us start here only. So what happens basically that I'm going to tell you now. I wanted to open UI demo application. This is desktop application, guys. So I wanted to open this desktop application, and after opening this, so let's see. After entering or after opening this application, I have username and password, and then I have to click on login. So these things we have to do. So to open applications, we have open application. That is the activity available, and you can indicate on that application. We can let me already available on desktop. Okay, fine. So by using open application, we will see the path of our application, and we after opening that we have to enter username and password. So to enter username and password, which activities we supposed to use, guys? To enter username, no different activities, only type into two activities we have to use, and to click on password we can use, sorry, to click on login we can use normal click activity. Okay, so to enter username we can indicate on username window, and for password you can enter. password, and then we can enter login. Just click on login. Okay, great. Now we have already taken credentials from Orchestrator, and we have created two variables for username user UI demo and for password pwd UI demo. Then we can just take the values user UI demo and password UI demo. So whenever you are entering password, that should be either converted into secure text or you have to use type secure text. So that you have to take a note of this. Okay, fine. So now we can just run the bot and see how credentials from assets are retrieved and your application is open. A password and username is correct. It will open. Bot has completed. I believe pass admins A is small. Yeah, admins A is small. We have written as a capital. So let me change the asset in a UI demo credentials. So this A is small, guys, and you can just update the password as a password update. Now your UI demo will be automatically login. Got it? Any questions here?
No, sir.
So how we can get the credentials? Because as you observe, initially we have password of a capital admin and password. But sometimes if our username or password is changing, in that case, every time change passwords here, it's very difficult. Previously we were using as a get password or something. So by using get password, if our password is changing, you have to change in the code. So no need to change in the code. You can directly go into the asset and you can change the password here or username here. That would be immediately work with your problem. You can get solution for that. Got it? Asset concept.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can try. You can try from your side now. These two topics.
This UI demo from where we'll get, sir?
UI demo. I'll just upload in my where we can see in our chat. I'll upload in file. Sorry, not chat.
So, sir, is this the different app UI demo?
It is a not different app. It's generally used for practice purpose. All the
Okay.
practitioners are using.
Okay.
Now you could see in our file section. Do you want to see where it is? Are you
Yes,
able
sir.
to see this? Now
Yes.
you can try with normal asset. You can try with normal asset and both credential, because
Hello.
Share your screen
So I have
at
shared. Yeah.
cloud.uapa.com. Continue with Markstrop or Google where you have registered.
Hmm. No, it's not creating.
You can continue with Google.
So it is different on the Google. My mail ID is different, and I have created with another mail ID.
Yeah, you continue with Yabat, no problem. Can you please give me control so that we can go faster?
Okay.
I'm not able to see to take control options here.
So I have joined my browser.
You can join through Teams actually. That would be better.
Uh, so actually, there is issue in my Teams app. It doesn't shows our group. So I have to join through browser
Can you
only.
share your email ID? Email ID. I wanted to add. I think
Okay. Siley P130. So
Siley. Yeah, it's there. Siley. SAYALIP130 @gmail.com.
yes, but it is not showing in the app.
It should just yeah. I found what is the issue. You just log out and then log in. You can go into SP, sign out, then sign in.
Sir, even I'm facing the problem with the folder path, like workspace is not detecting.
Okay.
Orchestrator folder path, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any other email ID?
Yes, sir, I have.
You can just share that so that I'll start that. Share that email ID. We'll add that one.
Okay.
And
Work
who is
Siley one.
Sorry. One.
Work Siley1 @gmail.com.
Work Siley.
Yeah.
WORKSAYALI
Yes.
at
Siley, then one, then
at
at gmail.com.
now you can check. Okay. Meanwhile, Siley, you get
Yes,
access.
sir. Yes.
You can just sign out and then sign in with the same ID. Okay, Mohammed, can you share your screen?
Yes, sir.
What is the problem with your system?
Uh, this yesterday's problem, sir. I did try to remove the credential, but it's not happening. So maybe this could be the problem over here.
What is the what? Let me take control. Okay, wait. You haven't opened your cloud. Yeah, open. Yes, it's open.
It's open,
Sorry.
sir.
Yeah, that is the problem. I think we have discussed these tips yesterday. You should open Orchestrator with folder and machine key. It may take time. Now, what is password for your system? Is there any password?
No, it was just the key, not password, but there is a pin, sir, to 4-digit pin. Yesterday, I tried couple of times to remove, but
No, I'm not following you. For login into your system, is there any password?
there is a pin, sir. Yes, 2502.
Pin that is equal to password?
I think so. Yes, it like prompt it pop-ups whenever like the we I start the laptops.
You haven't created folder, so that is the reason. I think
Okay.
you haven't added anything here. You need to add folder, then machines, etc. The process is, you haven't completed process. How it could come? You haven't added
Yes-
machines also.
Yesterday I was facing the problem with the credentials, so that was the incomplete, sir. That's why
No problem. We can do that. So right now you have to add a machine. You can add standard machine. I'm not sure what you have added there. Here you can just add machine name. I think we have done these settings. You are deleted folder.
no, the folder was not deleted, sir. The problem is the problem is coming with the account, sir. It's not getting the maybe due to the credentials or the password, the pin which is set on the startup whenever we start the laptop. For that reason, account is not getting detected, and from there on, the process is not happening.
No, actually the thing is your folder is deleted. We are not able to find your folders. That's why actually I have added one machine here. Windows home. Yeah, this is your machine, and now everything you have to made. Now you can see here user is added, manage machine. Sally, you can refer this one. Sally?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can just refer this one. Now machine is
Okay.
added. Machine is added. The next step is you have to add user. For user, you can just click on these three dots, edit, and in edit, we can click on next. One more thing you have to do, that is since you have a password, you have to use specific password here. What is password? You can just
Two.
put here
It's 2502.
2502, and then you can just click on next, update. It's successful or not? Okay.
Yes, say successful.
Then you have to just add some permissions. Just check all. Assign. Copy, and you have to paste in a disconnect. URL might be same, but password, this machine key might be different. Machine, your machine name is not Windows. Windows/home, no?
Windows/home. Can I type it or copy from there?
Is
Command
it
prompt.
copying? Can you please check that? Is this copying?
Yesterday it was came just uh, name, not slash and om.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Now you can try. By creating
Thank.
process, now you can try.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Let's I think go ahead. Other guys, have you completed asset point? Because we have to go for queue. That is again priority task. Anybody is completed or not? Asset. Rubina, Rashmi,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Subhash.
have completed a get asset
So
and I am working on get credential.
Okay, and Rubina.
so in get credential, it is when I'm running, it is showing error like the machine key is linked to another machine.
And for get asset.
Get asset I didn't do so. I started with get credential only.
Okay, just share your screen. Click OK. Click on get credential. So while selecting that is coming.
No, sir, I typed this.
You have typed that, right?
Yes, yes.
Wait. Just give me control.
Yeah.
No need to connect. Actually, you can see here robot error is
Yes,
there.
yes, sir, it is showing robot error.
So when you are seeing robot error, it will not connect. Where is the orchestrator?
Yes, this Google page. Chrome.
This is your laptop name, right?
Yes.
Just once again open your App Studio.
Okay, suggest.
It's not clicking here actually. Here we have to change the folder, but here we are not able to connect. Maybe it might work when you restart your system, Rubina.
Okay.
Because yesterday everything was set correctly. Sometimes like restarting also works well. Just restart your system and then you can try.
Okay, so fine. I'll restart and come back soon.
Yes. Rashmi, Subhash,
Yes, sir.
is it completed?
Sir, in activity panel, open application is not showing, sir.
Share your screen.
Okay, sir.
Use application. You can do use application. Use application.
This one.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can indicate on application. next point, that is a queue. So whenever we are talking about queue, queue is a list of items that you can store in a specific container. So there might be lots of examples of queue. For example, let's consider we have a bunch of Excel files and that you wanted to proceed. So each Excel file might have lots of rows and columns and you want to proceed. In that case, we what we'll do, we will process one Excel file at a time. So in one Excel file, there might be lots of rows and each row is considered as a queue item or item we can consider, and that we can proceed one by one. So that topic, whenever we are considering in queue, queue is used to store the information or items, collection of items, and that we can proceed one by one. In UiPath Studio, in UiPath Orchestrator, we have lots of activities related to queue and that we need to understand. Basically, there are two important things. Let me show you. So let us consider this is our orchestrator. So this is our orchestrator. And let me tell you what is queue. So let us consider this is a queue. So in queue, we have lots of items and we wanted to proceed. So if we'll directly proceed, sometimes some values might be stored, or if let's consider we have thousands of record and we wanted to proceed with thousands of records, we will not get traced or will have issues of some of the items. In that case, what we are doing, we are using two different approaches. First approach is called as a dispatcher, and another approach we are using that is called as a performer. So performer and dispatcher, these two approaches we are using. So in dispatcher, what is happening? We are uploading all the values to the queue. So this is an orchestrator where we are uploading the items into the queue. We are uploading, and in performer, what we are doing, we are downloading the items from the queue. So that is called add a performer. These two things you should remember, guys. One is a dispatcher and another one is a performer. Here we are getting each items one by one. So we are downloading items and here we are uploading the items. So in high level, you should understand in orchestrator queue, we are doing two different types of things. First one is a doing like uploading and second one is a downloading. So uploading queue items is called as a dispatcher and downloading from queue is called as a performer. So these two items we have to see one by one and we'll deeply see these two topics. Why we need this queue? What is the reason to use queue in orchestrator? What is the reason? Let me tell you. So in queue, if we are uploading the items in a queue and downloading one by one, then we can trace out what items we have processed successfully, what are remaining. Everything is maintained in the orchestrator queue. So there should not be like missing anything in a orchestrator queue. That is one point to use queue. Another one is we have, if we have thousands of data, then we can upload one at a time only all data 1000 and we can utilize one by one in number of bots. We can use 3-4 bots and we can perform all the processing one by one. That is the main purpose of using orchestrator. In practically, I would like to show you UiPath Studio and orchestrator one by one. So in dispatcher, what we are doing, we are uploading items into the queue. So before that, let me tell you what is the item we are having. So initially we have seen, let us consider this is the Excel file. Data here. Okay, so this is the Excel file challenge one, and this Excel file you can see there are 8 columns and around 8 or 9 rows. So these all data we have to proceed, and after completing uploading, we have to take one by one and we have to write the status whether it is uploaded successfully or not. So this is the Excel file which we wanted to upload into the queue. That is called as a dispatcher thing. Understood, guys? What is the dispatcher? Dispatcher is nothing but add items into the queue or add data into the queue. So in queue, in Orchestrator, we have queue options. Here you can see queue. So queue is nothing but the container where we can store the data. No need to worry about how we can create queue. Just simply you can just put employee data or whatever the queue name you wanted to put. You can put that name, and then description is not mandatory. If you want to put, you can put employee data. Here there are 3 different options: enforce unique references. Let us consider there are same name of 2 peoples. Do you want to use unique values? Then there will only unique values will be uploaded. So if you want to put that, you can put that. Otherwise you can make as a untick. Encrypted format you want to store, you can store. Otherwise that is your choice. And auto retry. So if any of the queue item is failed, what you wanted to do? Do you want to retry that? If you want to retry, how many times you want to retry? That max retry you can put here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Max is 25. So in interview there might be question what happens if you are using max retry in config file and in orchestrator. So first your orchestrator's retry will be auto retried first. Then other formats of this data schema definitions, right now these are not mandatory. When we are going advanced topic, in that point, during that one we will see. SLA means how much time you want to work with this queue. What is service level agreement? What time you are expecting? That is important. So right now you have to just concentrate on what is the name of the queue, then what is auto retry, how much max retry you are putting. These 2 things you have to remember, and just click on add. There is no any types you need to select. So what queue name we have created, guys? What is the name of
Employee
queue?
employee queues.
Employee queue.
EMPL. Wow, spell was wrong. So employee queue, again queue spell is wrong. Okay, employee queue I have created. Now in this queue, if we want to add the information, then what is the method? What is the process to upload the items into the queue which are available in Excel? So let me add one sequence. And what is the method to read Excel file? I wanted to read this Excel file. What is the method to
Uh,
read Excel file?
read range.
Read range.
Yes, read range. So we'll use, because we wanted to use only one time, so you can just give the path read Excel file. What was the name of that file? Challenge 1, I believe.
Challenge 1.
And file name was sheet 1. Is that right? I don't remember, but I think it's right.
Yes,
And we
it
can
is.
create one output variable dt underscore employee value. Tick. Data value is data table created. Guys, till now you are, I think, good. There is no any questions till now to create or to read the Excel file and storing the values into data table. Now my task is I wanted to upload all these value or data table values in a queue. So how we can add all these value in a queue. If you want to do one by one or to iterate one by one, which activity
For
we should
each.
use?
For
For
each.
each.
Yes,
For
for
each.
each row. So we have for each row in data table. We can use that. We can pass the data table name. Until now you are good. So next thing is we have to add the queue items. We have to add items in a queue. What activity is used in UiPath? That is a add queue item. So there are two options: bulk add queue items and add queue items. You can use bulk add queue items if you don't want to use for each row. If you want to use for each row, then you can use add queue items. Now this add queue items properties are very important, guys. Here you have to select folder name. What is the folder name? August batch. Queue name we have created employee queue, and here collection is very important. Collection is very important. What data you want to upload in a queue? So you have to refer your Excel file while uploading data into queue. This is very important reminder for you. So whenever you are entering the data into the queue, you have to add the reference. So first column is referred as a first name. So first queue item is your first name. What is the type of that data? String, na? First name is
String,
string.
string. Yes.
And here you have to put the index of your row. Current row of 0.2 string. So that is first name. Then again, do you want to add one more data?
Yes.
Yes, you can add entry like you can copy this one, last name. You can add here as a last name, current row of 1.
One.
One.
And other values you can add. You can just click on save. I don't want to add other values because it may take time, and it's similar process. If you want to add all items, then you can add other values. But right now I don't need it, so I'm just entering only two values. Okay, so only one activity you needed to upload the data into the queue, that is add queue items. Right now let us see, is there any data available with this queue? I wanted to show you. Is there anything here? Nothing, no?
No.
Nothing.
So let me close this Excel file and run this flow. So my trigger is completed. Let us go into the actually it has been added to different. Let's move to employee. Yeah, you can see there are around 8 values are added. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Total there are how many values? 1 to 8.
Two, three.
8 values.
Do you want to see Excel file? Let me open that Excel file so that you can relate. So we have only added 2 items and around 8 rows are there. 8 rows that are added. Let us check that. So we'll start from here. View details. And here you can see specific data is first name and last name. First one is Lara and last name is Palmer. So Lara Palmer is lastly added. So as per queue, first in, first out. So first value added into the queue, that should be Albert Kipling. Do you want to see that? So it would be like a and starting should be from like last here only. So you can see that view details and Albert should be there. Albert Kipling is at first time. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And right now we have only two values because we have given two fields entry here in add queue item. How many values we have given here? Only first name and last name. If you want to add one more value, what value you want to add, that you can enter. For example, company name. So we can put that as a company name. Oh my God, it's not copying. And here you can put as a current row of 2. And one more thing you should remember, the status of all queue items are what?
New.
New. So in interview there might be question, what is difference between add queue item and add transaction item? So first difference you should remember, whenever you are using add queue items, you are uploading data to the queue. That is first point. And second point, whenever you are using add queue items, the status of all queue items are new. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Right now we have 8 queue items in our queue. If I'll run one more time, what change you are just thinking? Let me run once more. And I wanted to get some solutions or answers from your side. What will be the change in our queue?
Status will change, no, sir.
No, we are just adding queues, adding a queue items. What changes there might be?
Mm,
One more column will get added.
Yes, perfect. Absolutely right. Because whatever you are adding, you are uploading into the queue, that will be automatically reflected in your values. So right now we have how many values? 16.
Eight, si-
8 are added, na? Total
Yet
8
eight. Yes,
was
yes. Eight
older and
added.
8 new. And if you want to see what are additional here, company name is added. Okay. So about add queue items, you should remember the status is always new whenever you are using add queue items. Okay. And whatever values you want to add, you can put that in a add item information and that would be added. Till now you are good.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now this is called as a dispatcher thing. Now after uploading all the items in a queue, dispatcher work is completed. Now we don't have to think about the dispatcher. The dispatcher or uploading item is completed, dispatcher work is finished. Now what we have to think? We have to think about performer. Performer means, let us consider we have added data, Excel data. Now we have to do operation of that Excel data. Then that comes into the performer. So in performer, what we have to do? So to process items from a queue, we have to download the items. So to download the item, we have a get transaction activity. So by using get transaction activity, we will download the item. So by using this get transaction item and queue name, we will download the items. And by using get transaction item, we are downloading one item at a time. That is very important. So let me run this performer. and will show you what is the difference. What will be the what would be the change, guys? What is your opinion? What might be changed? What is the change you are just thinking? Initially, what was the state for this item?
New.
What is the current
The
state?
status will change,
In
sir.
progress.
Yes.
Yes. So whenever you want to use or process any items, you have to download the items from a queue. So to download the item from a queue, that is called as a performer thing, and that by using get transaction item, we are using or we are downloading the queue item one by one. At a time, only one items will be downloaded, and whenever you are downloading the items, the status of that queue item is changed into in progress. So if I'm running one more time this performer, one more queue item status will be changed. Yes, is it changed?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So downloading the queue item is done by using get transaction item, this activity. And whenever you are getting questions, what is difference add queue item and get transaction item? What is major difference, guys? You should immediately tell.
Uploading and downloading, sir. Like for uploading,
Yes,
we use queue,
one more
and
thing,
downloading,
one more difference.
New and in progress.
it's
Yes,
status.
that you should remember. New and in progress. Now, performer starts from downloading items. Second thing, after downloading item, we have to process that item. Okay. After downloading, we have to process that item. Process means doing some addition or doing some operations there. You can do like concat two things, etc. Okay. Let's see. I have to use some message box. Okay. Now, whatever we are getting, that should be stored somewhere. Okay. We can use that. Just a second. Okay. So that should be stored somewhere. Whatever download items, we have to store somewhere. So where we can store, by using one variable, we can store that. We can use that data items and what values that you want to see. First name. Okay. Then you can see now third item will be run. Third item will be downloaded and we can see third item's first name. What is the first name of third item?
Dog.
Just I wanted to show you what is the value we are downloading. Okay. Dog. So dog was actually the name we are downloading by using this get transaction item. And to get specific values, this is the syntax. Whatever the transaction value you are getting dot specific content and name of the column. that you are finding. Is it clear? Now third item status might be changed. Is it changed? So
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
Yes.
so did you understand what is difference between add queue item and get transaction item? Get transaction item and add queue item. In add queue items, what we have done, we have uploaded the data into the queue, and in get transaction item,
Download data.
download the data. Now after downloading, we should process that data, and after processing, we should write the status, whether that is successful or fail or what happened with that data. Because after processing, we should maintain the status, what happens. So to maintain the status, we have a set transaction data. So set transaction status is activity which maintains the status of your queue item. So you can again select the folder path, the transaction item, and status as a successful or failed. So first we'll put successful. Now it will take next item. JC. So JC's status will be changed and it will be directly successful. So we could see fourth item we have taken and the JC was the name. It is written as a successful. Is it right? Firstly, the status of this JC will be in progress, and immediately when you are writing as a set transaction status as a successful, it will immediately write as successful. Do you want to see initial status? Now it will take next item, fifth
Here
item.
we have to add the we have to process the data, no? And then last we
Yes,
can set the status,
yes,
right?
yes. I'm not writing process right now
Yeah.
because
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it may take time. Just wanted to show you in between this message box. Message box is nothing but we are doing some operation there.
Operations. Yes.
Now let me run. I'll showcase you the difference between set transaction status and get transaction status. Right now, I haven't clicked on OK, and you can just see what is the status of Stan. Stan is our fifth item. What is the status of Stan right now?
In progress.
In progress. As I'm clicking on OK and set transaction is completed, we can see the change. Is it successful? Okay. Now, in case if you want to write the status as a fail, here we have an option either successful or failed. We can make as a fail. But when you are writing as a fail, you have to write the reason. You have to write the reason. Interface is being changed. So yeah. So here you have to mention error tab, why it is failed, either business exception or application exception. And here you have to mention the reason. Application browser failed. or any reason you can put. Let's put it's failed due to browser fail, and let us run. Mitchell, let's see status of Mitchell. It's in progress, right? And when I'm clicking on OK, status might be failed, should be failed. It should be failed. Why it is coming as a retried, guy?
Because
Like,
retry we have given one, I think.
yes, perfect answer. So whenever you are putting retry as a 1, so it will retry one time. If you are putting max retry as a 5, it will retry 5 times. And whenever it is retrying, you may observe initially there were only 16 items into the queue. Right now, how many are there?
17.
70.
17. And why it is 17? Because whenever the status is written as a retried, the item, what was the name of that item? Mitchell. Mitchell will be like, it will be dummy. Dummy items will be created at the top. If you are retrying at that moment, it is not only commenting as a retry. What is doing? It is just putting the comment as a retried, writing the status as a retried, and it is creating same, or we can say dummy of the same record at the top. So Mitchell is retried, that's why it is written as a top. Now let us run one more time. What will happen? Let's see. If we are running the bot once again, Stacy will be failed. It will retry it again. So there are 2 items we are retrying right now. And how many items will be the queue? Will be in the queue? Any guesses?
18.
One more plus is
Yes. Now I'll change the status as a successful in place of failed. And we will run. Now the count would be,
Increase.
count would be,
19.
I have written as successful.
Okay, successful. Then it will be same.
Count will be same.
Yes, and status would be,
Successful.
yeah, it's successful. Now what will happen? It will go until your all items are not processed. So till these are last 2 items would be Mitchell and Stance. So Stacy and Mitchell, these 2 items will be processed at last. Okay. Got it my point? So let us run. Let me remove that message box and we'll train. Delete that message box because I need running multiple times. So I'm just running 5 times because I wanted to avoid.
The status, sir, Sunil sir, the status you are setting fail and pass based on the data processing, no? Wherever like if you set the condition over there, then it will fetch the status from there on, no, sir?
Yes, yes. Actually, for our processes or our bots, we have different conditions to write the status as successful or fail. If there is system exceptions or business exception, in that case we are writing as a failed. So these activity we have to use depending on location where we are getting failure result or successful result. Now I'll just run more 3 more times. And let us see. Okay, now one more time and I will write status as a failed. Now you can see when our total items are 18. When it is trying second time, it is not writing as a retry. What it is writing?
Final status failed.
Failed.
Failed. Again, let us run one more time. So again, it will just write the failed status. There are two failed and exceptions. What is the type of exceptions?
Application.
Application.
Yes. Got it. What is difference between add transaction item? Sorry, add queue item, get transaction item, and set transaction status.
Got
Three
it.
activities understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when the one question, sir. So when the status will change to retry, then next time when we will run, it will not retry the same transaction, right? It will
Yes.
process all in the queue, and then it will come back to that retry again, and then it will show the status as failed, as
Yes.
per this example.
Yes.
Okay.
And if there is any business exception, it will write the business exception, no, so because we have to
Yes.
mention that well, that as well in conditions, because it might be
Yes.
possibility there is application as well as business rule in programming, and according to that the status has to be written.
Yes. Yes. Depending on the application or a business exception, we have to mention the same. So that's why actually we have options here. Error type. So here we have to write either business or application, and reason you can mention here.
Okay.
And if you want to see that reason is also mentioned here. What is the reason? Browser failed. Got it? Whatever
Mm,
reasons you are putting, that would be reflected here. So you will get the exactly reason. It is retried and it's failed. For zero retry, it is for zeroth attempt it is retried, and for 1th attempt it is failed. Okay, and for others you can see different things. For successful, you will get only retry 0 successful. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now there are some other activities also that also I wanted to show some like smaller examples, not exactly as it. Uh, Add a transaction item. That is one more activity we have in our UiPath Studio. So add transaction item activity is similar to add queue item. Only difference is here in add queue item, whenever you are adding the item, it is directly changing the status as a in progress. So by using variable, the status will be directly in progress. So whenever you are using in add queue items, what is the status of any every queue items?
New.
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 But whenever you are using add transaction item, the status is changed to directly in progress. That is the only difference between add transaction item and add queue item. And second difference is whenever you wanted to add high priority item, in that case you can use add a transaction item. But right now no need to concentrate, only just understand the difference, no need to use that. Only just concentrate on get transaction item, send transaction status, and add queue item. One more option is there, bulk add queue item. I'm just telling you, but no need to use this other activities. Just for information, I'm telling you. So bulk add queue items activity is used same as add queue items, but when you want to add thousands of data at a time without for each row. So in that case, you can just directly use bulk add queue items. And here you have to just put the name of the queue and folder. So for each is not necessary here. Let me delete this activity and will showcase you. This is when you have lots of data available in your stream. Let me run. Right now we don't have any new items, but we'll get after executing this part. Okay, so we can see we got around 8 new items. So by using bulk add queue items, we no need to use for each row. That is the only difference. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Can we see this recently added data, sir, over Orchestrator? Because for each we have to provide the index and all, no? So just wanted to say. So it came all. Okay.
If you don't want to use specific data in that case, you can use this bulk add queue where you will get all these values. No need to add specific value.
Okay. So it will capture all the values represent.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Great.
Perfect. Then about queue, I hope you understood all the points clearly, because I wanted to tell you other points apart from this queue, other topics I wanted to just discuss with you. If you are good with this queue topic, we'll move ahead. Any questions till?
For me, no, sir. No question.
As of now, no, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine, thank you. Uh, any anybody else? Subhash, Saili, Rashmi.
Sir. Question.
Hmm? Okay, fine. So let's discuss more on Orchestrator. In Orchestrator, guys, depending on organization, let's see you have selected for X organization. So in that organization, what they are following, if they are using, community edition, very rarely people are using community edition. But if they are using rarely or they are using community edition, in that case, uh, current version they may use. So in like certain situation you might mimic the same whatever we are using. But if the organizations are using enterprise licenses for older version like 2018 and 2019 version, so in that case, uh, folder structures are different. You could see only two folders, tenant and default. There should not be like these types of multiple folders. But I think around 99% people are moving for advanced UiPath licenses. So everybody might see these two folders like tenant, and you have like custom folders to create. So finance folder is there. Then in that finance folders, you might have limited access. For example, only you can run the bot, or you can just deploy the package, or sometimes you don't have deployment access also. You can see only logs. So don't confuse whenever you are, only you are seeing logs only. You are not able to see process, jobs, triggers. You can see only logs because there are certain provisions to be made in enterprise licenses where you are not providing process, jobs, or triggers access, because considering the priority, considering security and safety of the orchestrator, the access is prohibited for the new developers or junior developer. So in that case, don't confuse that I don't have orchestrator, like all our components are not available. Components are available for all orchestrators, but the access are limited depending on the person's role. So only the thing is logs will be always you can see, or sometimes you might have access for jobs but you can't run. You can just see logs. Okay, so whenever initially we were creating folders, you might have seen I was working in a folders. Let me show what how we can change the access of any person. So in our August May batch we have users, and in this human icon, when I was working or clicking on that, here we have different access. So depending on that access, we can assign the users or we can create the new roles. And in new roles, we can provide access what the access I wanted to give to the new users. For example, I'm just creating one new role as a junior developer. Junior developer. So when I'm creating this role, I can customize the permissions. Suppose I don't want to give any of the permissions, only asset the person can view. Person can't edit that asset. And one more thing, person can just view logs. Only two permissions I wanted to give. So this person, Sunil Devkar at outlook.com, only see this junior developer's roles. Means he can just see or view the logs or queues or assets. So these types of things we can customize. So don't worry about the user interface of orchestrator. Depending on your orchestrator permissions, you might see differences between access. So that is one point I wanted to discuss with you. Then monitoring. For monitoring, you have this job history, what is the status, etc. All this you can see in job history. Right now we have successful 57 items, failed, faulted 1, stopped 3. Machines, high level things we can see how many machines are available with me, the processes, queues, SLAs, license, unattended sessions, user sessions, etc. All this you can see monitoring. Manage access, you can manage access as already we discussed. Packages, depending on version, we can see credentials and workbook, web license. All these are high level, those are not important. Robots are the in your organization, these robots licenses, depending on licenses, you can add number of robots. Multiple robots you can add here depending on your license. Right now we have only one license available in community edition, so we could see only one robot here, and we have unattended robots. You can add multiple robots depending on your licenses. Any questions? There are some advanced topics UiPath brought up, that is application apps concept. UiPath apps, where you could design some applications same like Android applications. For example, you might have uh, Ola applications. So these types of applications you can design. I have designed one OTP email. It is not published, but I have designed. You can also create or build any application by using this test. If you want to publish that, in that case you can publish also. So that is about building applications built like how you can wanted to do, just create, can create some template. So all these are some advanced topics. So this is the template. By using this template, you can design your applications, but that comes in some advanced topic. That is not mandatory, guys. No need to go for that. Then there are some advanced concepts like document understanding. Document understanding is used to extract like invoices which are very critical invoices. In that case, document understanding works well. Automation ops, action center is there, processes, marketplace, integration service. Some advanced topics are there. We can explore whenever you have a time, but it's not mandatory. So that's it about this orchestrator. If you have any questions, if you are not able to connect your UiPath with orchestrator, please go through our recording first. First struggle from your side. If you are not connecting, you can just reach out to me. But without